Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Addie, and today I wanted to share with you a couple of indoor winter activities because man, it has been cold. So first off, I have Unifix here, and I just used painter's tape to put a shape on the floor. It's winter, so I did a snowflake. And so first you saw them just lining Unifix cubes up to the shape. Here you can also use cotton balls. You can use anything you have, but here they're just outlining this shape that I created. You could also do like a gross motor activity with this. So here I've put piles of snowballs or cotton balls here, and she is transferring one at a time from one end of the snowflake to the other using like a balance beam type situation is what I told her to do. For this next one, we are painting igloos. So for that, you're gonna need some ice. I have used this cocktail, like round sphere one here. You could also use a empty fruit cup and freeze something in that. You could use just regular ice. You could freeze water in a plastic cup or Tupperware, something, you know, whatever you want to get a frozen kind of circular shape there. And then also you're gonna need some watercolors and a paintbrush. You may need to get the watercolors wet initially so that the color transfers right away, but as your child starts to paint, the water from the ice should be enough to get the watercolors going there. This activity is really simple, but you would be amazed by how long all three of my kids, my 2, 4, and 6-year-old, stayed occupied while doing this. Next up, we are doing a snowflake hunt. So I have these doilies here, which I have written numbers on. We're adding some learning in. And then on a sheet of paper, I wrote the numbers with a checkbox there. And you can also draw the dots if they don't know all their number recognition yet. You could also do this activity with letters if you prefer to work on those. Then you're gonna hide your snowflake doilies around the room or around the couple of rooms, but I wouldn't hide them too far apart. You wanna make sure they're a little bit tricky, but not too hard that they lose interest in the activity. So then once you have them hidden, the kids can start their search or their hunt for the snowflakes. And when they find it, they are supposed to tell you what the number is. So working on number recognition there, if you do letters, they could tell you the letter sound that it makes. And then they go to their checklist and they mark off the number that they found. So matching the numbers together, working on that coordination and skill. Okay. For the next activity, you're going to need a tray to contain a mess. You're going to need a marshmallow. I let mine get stiff overnight so that it was hard. You're also going to need a piece of construction paper and some shaving cream. Once you have your supplies, you're going to take your shaving cream and just place it on your tray there. Then your kiddos can use that marshmallow as a paintbrush to paint with the shaving cream. It's almost like a 3D paint kind of situation for them. So they could just swish it around or they could make dots or, you know, do really whatever they want. I will warn you though that as this dries, it does not really dry as it was drawn. It kind of flattens almost like bubbles were blown there or something. So it's probably not one of those crafts that you're going to want to keep. It's more for the action of doing. However, there is a way to extend this activity, which is also part of the fun. So once they're done with the paper, you can kind of put it aside and then you can add more shaving cream to the tray and just let them explore and play. I would recommend putting socks, some other protection for their clothes on just to keep the mess to a minimum, but the sensory of their hands in that shaving cream is just so much fun for them. And you could add paint to practice color mixing for another element, and you could even do it in the bathtub for easier cleanup. Last up today is to get yourself a bin of socks and use them as snowballs to have an indoor snowball fight. You do not need the fancy dryer balls or the pretend snowballs to do this. Your socks will work just fine. Flip over a couple tables, put some chairs together, get some shields. This is really fun and a way to interact with your kids if you want to join in as well. They just had an absolute blast. Dan here had even the baby on him playing, and I was doing some cameos. So definitely a way to get involved with your kiddos and just have some smiles this winter season. So that's all for today. And if you guys want more activities for kids, make sure you check out the link in the description below for more ideas. I'll see you next time.